Alright guys, welcome back to some more Reincarnation. I want to thank you all for the love and support you continue to show this series. It really means a lot, so thank you. Thank you, thank you. And right now guys, we are currently up to what I believe nearing the conclusion of the Yukimasa and Pauline story arc. And it's getting pretty intense right now, and yeah, like, it wouldn't be that surprising considering Yukimasa's personality, but I'm also curious to see how this all comes together in the end, you know? With all that said, hope you all continue to enjoy watching. Let's keep it going. Alright, and we are back, everyone. The other man made an attempt to escape, so I planted my foot in his face. But it seemed I put too much force into it. He crashed into the wall and then slid limply to the ground.
おいおい、急に動き出すから反射的に足が出てしまったじゃないか。はあ、もったいない。気絶させてしまった。
You know, I just love this voice actor as well because he's able to manage his voice, differentiate it. Like when he's with Pauline, he has like this kind demeanor about him. And then when he's like alone to his thoughts and when he's like against these two guys, his voice got deeper, like the Yukimasa we knew from the previous era. The man's nose was shattered, his face covered with blood, and its eyes rolled back. Gravity was the only force left acting on his body. For a second, I was afraid I had killed him, but I could see his chest rising and falling and his fingers twitching slightly. That was fine then. I had no intention of killing either of them after all. All I wanted was to see a little blood. From people nobody would mind seeing a little beaten up.
あっちは意識を飛ばしてしまったから、お前に頑張ってもらおうか。
I grabbed the man by the back of the head, paying no heed to his squirming. And slammed his face into the asphalt. Okay, yeah, you know what? That works. Thick blood dribbled from his nose. There wasn't much yet, so it was probably my imagination. But I felt as though I was enveloped in its sweet coppery aroma. Endorphins flooded my brain, drowning out my reason. But a small fragment of that reason, that humanity, managed to stay above the surface to admonish me. Do not kill him. Do not break your vow. Do not become a murderer. You chose the path of imperfection and conflict of humanity. Yeah, you don't have to remind me. I'm not gonna kill anyone. I just need to not cross that line, right? Taking care to not knock him out entirely, I pounded the man's face into the asphalt again and again and again.
なあ、俺はな、別に強いやつと喧嘩がしたいわけじゃないんだ。ファイトクラブみたいな高揚感が欲しいわけじゃないんだよ。
I believe it's safe to say that these guys will no longer be pickpocketing anyone from the future then on. After what Yukimasa did to the both of them.
ただひたすらこうやって一方的に痛みを与えたいだけなんだ。
Again and again and again and again and again and again. No, he's gonna just bring you to that brink though, but he won't kill you. That's what's important, people. As long as he doesn't kill anyone and breaks his vow.
お前のようなクズが相手ならボロボロにされたって誰も取り合ってくれないだろう。
Screams echoed through the dimly lit alleyway.
まあ 一番のクズは俺だろうがな。
Wow, this guy really messed him up.
助け、バカだな。人が来ない場所を襲撃地点に選んだのはお前たちだろう。お前の悲鳴なんてどこにも届かないさ。
Can you imagine someone's about to rob you or you're about to rob someone and then they have that cackle coming out from them? You know you're in trouble. Glancing down, I noticed my hand was dripping with blood, and I'd probably splattered onto my jacket as well. I'm going to want to wipe myself down before I go home, I thought as I continued to pummel the man. He's still pummeling him too. Jeez. Let up, dude. The scent of blood calmed my raging spirit. The sound of screams and the taste of despair filled my ravenous soul. When his shouts and cries began to falter, I let go of the man's head. Bloody foam oozing from his mouth, his whole body twitched on the ground. I rose to my feet, kicking the man over so I could see his face. Not that it was much of a face anymore. I pressed my heel into his chest, causing a splattering of blood to blow out of his mouth. You know, I just noticed the name of the pickpocket, Short-Haired Ruffian. Oh, man. The once ferocious man was now begging like a small child to be spared.
おい、もうギブアップか。なんだつまらんな。こっちはまだ満足していないんだ。ああ、そうだ。お前たちが持ってきたあのナイフを使ってみるのはどうだろう。あいつでお前の指を切り落とすのさ。一本一本全部なくなるまで。
I was wondering when he was going to get back to his little finger-breaking fetish, or as of right now, finger-cutting.
楽しそうだと思わないかなあ。もうやめてください。
His voice is no longer a deep voice now. It's just like so high pitch. Oh, it's a wail now.
謝罪なんて一言も欲していないさ。むしろ俺に協力を提供してくれてありがとうと言いたいところだ。だが欲を言うならできればもう少し粘ってもらいたいんだが。
He's been picking on this one guy. What happened to his friend?
無理です。死ぬ。本当に死んじまいます。そうか。それは残念だな。俺はな、今のところ人殺しはしていないんだ。
Now I wonder, is that supposed to make anyone feel better? Like, you know, I never actually killed anyone, just so you know. I mean, I beat you to a pulp, but hey, at least I did not take a life, right? Feel at ease with that. Yukimasa, man, he's something else.
これでも一応一線は越えてしまわないように気を使っていてな。
You're doing a great job thus far, right? Guy's nearly dead, dude.
ここまでやるのならいっそのこと殺してしまっても同じのような気もするんだが、俺の心の中にいる誰かがそれを止めるんだよ。 最初はなけなしの両親かとも思ったが、どうやら違うみたいだ。なあ、お前にはこれがなんだか。助けて、殺さないでください。そうだな。わかるわけないよな。お前、俺のこと頭のいかれたやつだって思っているだろう。思ってないです。よし。なら、俺に命乞いをしろ。情けなく。これでもかっていうくらいみっともなく。
I wouldn't do it, dude. Prior experience taught me, or so I've learned in his previous era, that's not what he's gonna do.
助けてください。何でもします。お金も俺が払います。ごめんなさい。許してください。わかった。もういい、俺は帰る。早いところお前も病院に行け。
Oh, okay. You know what? I stand corrected. Good for him for knowing when to stop, even though he should have stopped a lot earlier.
俺のことは口に出すなよ。言ったところで不良同士の喧嘩だと思われるだろうが、念のためだ。
The man gave me several rapid nods and began to crawl away, whimpering. He seemed like he was trying to push himself to his feet, but not having any luck. But I didn't give a damn about what happened to him next. What I needed to do was wipe the blood off me, get home, and sleep. And watch to see if any dead bodies showed up in the news over the next few days. I didn't even give the beaten and battered pair a second glance. They were the dregs of humanity, and so they were fair game. Of course, as I had told that one man, I was the lowest scum of all. I pulverized men to quench my thirst, but I never killed them. I kept my vow. It's very close to Batman. I wasn't so far gone as to think anything other than murder was okay, though. I knew perfectly well what I was doing was reprehensible, and still, in spite of that, I yearned for something more.
お邪魔します。と、あれ、雪政どこかに出かけてるのかな。そっか。じゃあどうしよう。せっかくだから家探ししちゃおうかな。もしかしたら彼の秘密が見つかるかもしれないし。
Oh, see, now this can't be good. You never poke around.
泥棒みたいなことしちゃってごめんね、雪政。
Only a couple hours earlier, Yukimasa and I had been hanging out together here, talking and smiling and laughing and watching TV. But now it was deathly quiet. I felt the chill in the air as I stood there all by myself. When Yukimasa had a key made for me, he probably didn't think I would use it to sneak in when he wasn't around. He wouldn't have trusted me with it if he did. And up until today, I'd always gotten in touch before coming over. A surprise inspection like this was a first.
とにかく雪政がどうして私のことを止めてくれないのか突き止めなきゃ。もしかしたらベッドの近くに見られたくないものがあったりして。
Okay, well, hey, best of luck to you.
なんか恋人の家を勝手に探すのってちょっと興奮してきちゃう。いけないいけない。 冷静にならないと。
I am very worried she's gonna come to regret that decision.
ここに来るまでは変な声を思い出したこともあって深刻になっていたけど、あんまり悲観的に考えることなんてないよね。よーし。なんか DVD のケースが出てきた。ベッドの下に隠すとか、これって定番のエッチなビデオ？
Oh, this can't be good at all. If that's a DVD of like people dying or getting massacred, it's game over.
B 級スプラッター映画？なんだ、エッチなビデオじゃないんだ。
Well, at least it's labeled gore, horror, or something like that, because
なんで私はがっかりしてるのかな。雪政ってこういうの好きなんだ。意外かも。実は夜な夜なスプラッター映画を見るのが趣味だったりするのかな。
you know, it's probably for the best she thinks that instead of what's really going on. It's as close as the truth is she's gonna get. Unless, you know, he comes home with blood on his shirt and all that and all's revealed.
確かに人には言いづらいけど、でもそれくらいで引いたりしないんだけどな。一緒に見ようって言われたら目をつむっちゃうかもしれないけど、でも案外こういうのも楽しそうよね。これ以外には何かないのかな。あ、ノートパソコンとかどうだろう。あったあった。あれ、起動にパスワードが必要だ。なんだろうな。もしかして私の名前とか入れてみちゃおう。やっぱり違うよね。付き合って2ヶ月の彼女の名前なんてそりゃ入れないか。はあ、がっかり。他のパスワードも試してみようかな。誕生日とか。あ、ダメだ。これも違う。じゃあジャパン。やっぱり違うよね。なんだろうな。あ、しまった。ロックがかかっちゃった。これだと私が触ったってバレバレになっちゃうんじゃ。どうしようどうしよう。このロックって解除できないのかな。足音が近づいてくる。もう帰ってきちゃったんだ。どうしよう。どこか隠れるところ。あのクローゼット。私一人くらいなら入れるんじゃないかな。急げ。
ん？パソコンが開いている。最初からこうだったか。
まずい。気づかれちゃうかも。
ま、こんなもんだったか。
よかった。なんとかなったみたい。って、これ隠れたら余計まずくない？慌ててクローゼットに入っちゃったけど出るタイミングないわ。もう私のバカ。普通に忘れ物しちゃったって言い訳をして顔を合わせた方がまだ自然だったんじゃない？クローゼットから登場したら怪しすぎるよ。困ったことになっちゃったけど、いつもと違う彼を見るのは結構楽しいかも。
Oh, great. Are we gonna get Pauline the voyeur now? I peeked through the wardrobe's door, trying my best to keep my heart from leaping out of my throat. When he was with me, he always had a pleasant smile, so there was something refreshing about seeing him stone-faced now. Obviously, it would be weird if he was always smiling to himself, but still, he looked almost like a different man when he was on his own. Finally taking my eyes off his face, I realized he was wearing a sweatsuit. Had he been night jogging or something? He liked physical activity, so by itself that wouldn't be unusual. But what did seem off was him saying he had business to attend to and sending me home if all he was doing was going for a jog. He also looked exhausted. Was jogging supposed to wear you out so much? It would probably take a lot out of me, since I never got much physical activity. But unlike me, Yukimasa was in shape. Regardless, physical activity meant sweat, and sweat meant he would go take a shower next, right? And then I could sneak out while he was in there.
汗を流すのも億劫だな。もう寝るか。
本当に横になっちゃった。
So much for that plan. Who went to bed drenched in sweat anyway? That had to reek. Slovenly was the last thing I expected to find out he was. After a few minutes, I could see his chest moving slowly up and down. My good, strong, healthy Yukimasa was quick to fall asleep too. As much as I wanted to stay here and watch him through the night, now that he was asleep, I could safely leave. I pushed the wardrobe door open slowly and carefully, trying not to make a noise. The lights were off too, so I need to be especially watchful of where I step so I didn't trip over anything. Tiptoeing my way to the door, I abruptly came to a stop.
添い寝とかしちゃおうかな。
Oh, that's a bad idea. And also, you just claimed he reeks of sweat, and you don't want that either. People called me an airhead all the time, but even I had enough sense to realize how outrageous an idea that was. Not only had I snuck into his house without permission, now I was thinking about sneaking into bed with him. It was like something out of a trashy romance novel. On the other... Oh, okay, I thought it was voice, sorry. On the other hand, we were dating. Maybe he would think of it as a pleasant surprise. That was pushing my luck, wasn't it? He would wake up in the morning and see me there, and it would probably give him a really big scare. It might even creep him out so much he'd break up with me. But still, the sight of him sleeping there, so innocent and vulnerable, was too much for me to resist. Who wouldn't want to run their fingers along that big back or put their arms around that perfectly slender waist? Oh, this could backfire so bad. My conscience was screaming at me to behave and go home. Yes, please listen to that part of you. But the primal part of me pulled me closer and closer to the bed. Oh boy. I carefully lifted one knee onto the bed, and the mattress let out a deafening creak. My heart leapt into my throat, but the sound didn't seem to have woken Yukimasa. I stretched my arm out toward him. With every passing moment, the pounding of my heart grew more and more intense. I worried the sound might wake him up. I brushed the tips of my fingers across his cheek, then through his dark hair. He showed no signs of waking. He was always the mature older one, but it felt like we'd switched places now. The image brought a little smile to my face, quickly dissolving all the remaining tension in the air. It was safe to get a little closer, wasn't it? He wasn't going to wake up. I can vouch for the fact it probably wouldn't be safer. My heart rate leapt back up as I lowered myself down into his bed, cuddling up next to him. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I hope nothing... Oh my gosh, I was actually in the same bed with him. How brazen of you, Pauline. I could feel his breath on my lips as I gazed upon his face. I was on cloud 9 and I wanted to keep going even higher. Rationally, I knew I had to get out before he woke up. But I was well past rationality at that point. In my excitement, it took me a few extra moments to notice the strange smell on his sweats. Something sharp layered beneath the scent of his sweat. I couldn't quite place it though, so my curiosity would have to remain unsatisfied for now. As I lay there, basking in bliss, my eyelids started to grow heavy. No, Pauline, you can't go to sleep. You have to go home, and now. But as hard as I tried to push myself out of bed, it was just too warm and cozy here too. In my dreams, I'm drenched in fresh red blood, people dying all around me, everyone dying. No, not simply dying. I'm killing them. A man begs me to spare his life, so I sever his head. A woman implores me that she is with child, so I disembowel her. A man invokes the name of his god, so I tell him I know no such deity. And the pile of corpses grows. Arms and legs, heads and torsos, entrails and brains. It's all there. It's everywhere. In my shadow stands a maid with vacant eyes. I repeatedly try to kill her, but she won't die, so I keep her. Grinning, I order the maid to take a body and make a meal of it. She does, and I demand serving me a human meat soup. The maid always wears a smile, but her manners can never compare to mine. I cackle uncontrollably, howl like a wild beast.
それだけでよろしいのですか、旦那様。私の獅子を切り落とさなくてよろしいのですか。胸元だけでなく、顔を、首を、腹を、ありとあらゆるところを貫いたらいかがです？そうしたら、私、死ねるかもしれません。嫌だ。そんな奇妙なものを見るような目をして。
A man who isn't a man, a woman who isn't herself, imprisoned together in a dark, decrepit mansion. I believe the woman to be the witch, but the witch is elsewhere, looking down on me.
あなたがずっと昔から獣であり、誰も救えない存在であると、奪うことしかできない存在であると、きちんと思い出して。苦しめ、苦しめ、苦しめ、苦しめ、苦しめ、苦しめ。
That voice gets more and more sinister too. Ooh. The witch is right. I've always been enamored with death, with killing. My hands are only capable of taking, not offering. I'm a monster. My lust for blood will always overwhelm any affection I manage to muster. That's the simple truth. Look at all the blood I've spilled. Look at me, cackling as I sit upon this mountain of bodies. Oh, Pauline. What are you doing there? You can't see me like this. Not while I'm a beast, driven by nothing but primal instinct. Stay back, or I might end up killing you too. Though, to tell you the truth, I've always wanted to kill you. With your chains, you bring tranquility to my world. You're the only one who can keep me tethered to the ground. And I can only imagine how incredible a release it would be to tear them off. I need you to live for me, and I long to kill you more than anyone else. Man, that is such a twisted relationship. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Pauline does not know this. But this is a dream. I have nothing to lose by indulging my desires. Oh no. It's not real, so I have no need for a tether. It's not real, so I can do whatever I please. This is the one place I don't have to hold myself back. Pauline. Pauline. Let me hear how you wail.
お前はどんな声で泣き、どんな死に顔を晒してくれるんだ。
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that was voice. I was getting into it too.
Yuki, 正気に戻
ずっと苦しかったんだ。クズを痛めつけたところで何の足しにもならない。少しだけ気が晴れるだけで。本当に欲しいのは 俺に大切なものを与えた人間の絶望なんだ。
どうしちゃったの？ねえ、ユキナさん。話して。
Pauline's neck was even slighter than I had imagined. Leaning in slightly would likely be all it would take to snap it. I could feel her pulse in the palm of my hand. I could feel every gasp and grunt she forced out of my arms, my chest, my face.
もうやめ、本当に死んじゃうよ。
A wave of ecstasy surged up within me. Dream or not, I was strangling her. At long last, I was squeezing the life out of her.
しよ、ユキナさん。こんなのやだよ。
Wake up, dude. At long last.
ユキナ、どうしてこんなこと。
Something told me this wasn't the first time I heard Pauline's dying gasps.
あいつは、ポーリーンは俺を信じて探しに来たのだろう。俺みたいな男を信じてしまったのだろう。それ、俺が殺めてしまうというのならば、変えねばならぬ。俺がそうしなければならない。来世、変え。死ぬ時は、それを誓って死のう。
A fragment of a memory, a vow exchanged long ago. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. Of course, we knew this was going to happen the moment she decided to slip into bed with him. We knew he was going to have a dream of him killing her, and of course this really does happen. But I'm hoping this gets resolved without any death. I'm pretty sure it won't because his little voice in his head is telling him otherwise. But we're going to continue on the next one, guys, so thank you all for watching.